area. Christopher O'Brien is on your left, Harlan Fear on your right. It's Eldrazi Tron and SCGKY Control, both these players undefeated, 6-0 here in Derby City. They've been given the green light. We will be underway here in round number 7. And Eldrazi Temple is where things will begin. Chris O'Brien on 5 cards, but he did scry to the top. Worth noting, curious to see what it is that he scryed to the top, but we'll find out in just one draw step. For Harlan, he'll sacrifice a Scalding Tarn. He'll fall down to at least 19, maybe 17 here. For the SCGKY Control player. Big-time Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Is he going to get himself a Steam Vents? And there's the Serum Visions. An Island is the draw, and now Scry 2. Path and Electrolyze the cards he's taking a look at. Path, definitely an attractive card in this matchup. Electrolyze, I think, not so much.
I think he may already have 1 copy in hand.
Well, there's an Urza's Tower off the top. Remember, he scried that to the top. Now there's Matter Reshaper. So a good card in this matchup. Pretty good clock. And not something you really want to kill. There's a basic Plains there for Harlan. We'll head back over to Chris O'Brien. He'll draw a card. He'll come in here for 3, and that'll work just fine. Might be time for a Walking Ballista on 1, and it appears that it is. See if this resolves. And it looks like it will. Lightning Bolt's going to go after that, which means Harlan will take 1 from the Ballista. And now he'll quickly untap and take a draw. Sulphur Falls will enter the battlefield untapped. We'll head back over to Chris O'Brien. He'll draw. In for 3 with the Matter Reshaper. There's a Ghost Quarter. Here's a Thought-Knot Seer. We'll see if this resolves. Spellqueller says no, it will not.
Card with not a whole lot of targets on curve here, but a big win for Fear to be able to hit that Thought-Knot Seer.
An Island here for Harlan. An attack from Spellqueller is going to bring O'Brien down to 18. And now we'll head back Chris's way. Chris will draw a card. Picked up a copy of Dismember. Also has a Karn, and it all is dust. See the way Harlan has set up his lands here with Sulphur Falls, Steam Vents, and an Island on one side, of Plains on the other. When we see players do that, generally represents a cryptic command. This is an Electrolyze, going to take care of Matter Reshaper, and hello, Thought-Knot Seer. Boop. Going to drop that down. Trigger on the stack, we're going to see a Path, I think. And we do. So Path is going to take care of the Thought-Knot Seer. Harlan will get to draw a card. Chris will get to search up a land, and then we'll resolve that Thought-Knot Seer trigger. There's the hand, and there's only 1 card to take. It's Snapcaster Mage. The rest of the cards, 2 Scalding Tarns, a Flooded Strand, and a Celestial Colonnade, well, those are lands.
And O'Brien with a Dismember in hand, so he can answer the Spellqueller if he wants to. He's very much live here.
This is a winnable game.
Yes.
We'll go back over to Harlan. He'll draw a card. Didn't get a great look at the draw step. He'll play a Colonnade, however, and get in here for 2. O'Brien's going to fall down to 16.
Although O'Brien may just want to wait a turn here and get the Colonnade instead. Because he knows Fear's on no spells. It's not really that great to take the Spellqueller, or get the Thought-Knot Seer back and have Fear draw another card if this Thought-Knot Seer dies. And the clock is slow. So I think that I might want to dismember the Colonnade here in O'Brien's spot.
Well, I'm curious to see if O'Brien, if Fear's going to fire up the Colonnade, because there's a Ghost Quarter out there.
Sure, that's fair.
On O'Brien's side. No, it's totally fair that maybe that's something that Harlan wants to have happen, as Harlan has drawn a lot of lands. He's got 5 total. And that draw step, Thought-Knot Seer, reveals those 5 lands. But Harlan's in some real trouble right now. He'll just play a Flooded Strand and pass the turn back. O'Brien's going to draw a card. He's found Nurse's Mine. And he's only 1 land away from playing Karn now. So I think Harlan's going to fire up Colonnade here. Yeah, we'll see the Ghost Quarter take care of it. So now Harlan's going to search up another basic. And there's a basic mountain. I haven't seen that mountain before.
I actually can't identify it.
For some reason I want to say Portal 3 Kingdoms.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, it would match I think the Plains and the Island are for some Portal set.
Serum Vision's the draw. That's where Harlan will start things. Keep in mind, Fear is down to 5. He picked up a Sulphur Falls and no more. Thank you very much. As he's going to concede this game, he's got nowhere to go. So, Chris O'Brien's going to win game number 1 against Harlan Fear on a mulligan to 5 as Eldrazi continues to win here on the SCG Tour, up a game over Jeskai Control. These players will go to the sideboards. Patrick, you and I are going to do the same. We'll start with Harlan, who's got 2 Relic Progenas, 2 Dispel, 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Pia, and Kieran Nalar. A Wear Terra, Celestial Purge, Negate a Static Caster, Vendilion Click, a Supreme Verdict, and an Engineered Explosives.
Not really a whole lot to like here for this matchup. I think the copy of Supreme Verdict is fine. And I think the 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke are good for this matchup, but this is not a whole lot.
Other side of things here for O'Brien, he's got 2 Warping Wheel, 2 Hangerback Walker, 2 Graph Digger's Case, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Ratchet Bomb, 2 Relic Progenis, a Basilisk Collar, a Pithing Needle, and a Crucible of Worlds.
I would bring in the 2 copies of Relic, as Fear's got a little bit going on in the graveyard. I think this could be a fine matchup for Hangerback Walker too. A lot of bolts and such.
You can kind of overload those paths a little bit,
sure.
if you can.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to path, and if he's pathing your 2-drops, that's great. And if the game's being played at all on the ground or all about red removal spells, then Hangerback Walker, or if there's Wraths involved, various sweepers, Hangerback Walker could be really good.
Fair enough. Those are the options there for both players. And we'll see Chris O'Brien on the draw, Harlan Fear on the play, see if Jeskai Control can tie things up here against Eldrazi. And while we do wait for these 2 players to get ready, let's talk about our Season 1 Invitational champion. That's Brian Koval. He got the job done with Grixis Colossus in Standard, Metalwork Colossus, of course, and then in Modern, he played Death and Taxes, a deck that is very well situated to beat just a couple decks in Modern, but Eldrazi Tron and Grixis Death Shadow were among them. He ran into them at the right times, and he was able to win the tournament as a result, and that's why he's got this beautiful Monk token, and there are a couple ways to go about getting this thing.
Well, the easiest way is to just head out to one of our events. Anyone who participates in an Open or a Classic will receive this token for free as part of their entry. If you can't make it out, any order from StarCityGames.com, $5 or greater, will be shipped out with this token. Looks like some homage to vintage going on in the artwork.
He's a big vintage fan.
The Temple from Ancestral Recall,
Very
wearing
smart.
a Mock Sapphire.
And what makes Monk tokens?
The recently restricted Monster Mentor.
You got it all together right there. Brian Koval, your Season 1 Invitational champion. He's a huge vintage fan. Huge vintage fan. You know, I might start dabbling in around those waters soon.
Vintage?
On Magic Online.
Sure.
Not,
to me,
not in real life.
I'm not trying to denigrate this at all. But for me, if you like playing vintage on Magic Online, that's great. I can't do it with the different artwork on the Moxes.
Really?
It's just a deal breaker for me.
Really?
It's just a deal breaker. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you're
if they got the
old
original,
school.
if they got the original art in there, I would buy a vintage deck tonight.
Hello.
But it's just not. I can't do it.
The old artwork doesn't do anything for me. I love new artwork always.
Too big of a part of my childhood.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I started playing and revised. I still remember the first Mox I ever owned.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Makes sense. See what we can do for you.
All right, Brian used up his 1 pile. I'm watching like a hawk.
We're keeping our eyes on you, COB.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
Do not.
O'Brien and Fear here 6-0 in round number 7 from SCG Louisville. If you do want to join in the conversation at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGKY all weekend long. So we got 9 rounds today. Just a couple more left to go. And then we got 6 tomorrow. And we will crown ourselves a champion. Someone's going to walk out of here with $5,000, a bunch of SCG points. Fame and fortune. A winner's interview with Nick Miller. What's better than that?
Yeah, everything.
I'll tell you.
Everything you can ask for.
Yeah.
Not everything is better. I didn't segue that right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You're rusty. You're rusty. 5,030 SCG points, an invite to our Season 2 Invitational. You see finalists, $2,000, 25 SCG points, invite to that Season 2 Invitational at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. So on and so forth. Making day 2 a competition. But please walk out of here. Probably 100, maybe $200. How many players make day number 2 here as we get ready for game number 2? It's a flooded strand there for Harlan Fear. Earth's power plant plus an expedition map means that Tron could be online as soon as turn number 3 here for Christopher O'Brien. Fear's going to search up a hallowed fountain.
Looks like he brought in at least 1 copy of Pia and Kieran Nalar.
Pretty good card. We'll move over to Harlan. He'll draw. He's got land number 2 and an island there. Pass the turn back over to O'Brien. O'Brien has picked up another Urza's land. Don't know if he had it to start the turn, but he certainly has it to end the turn. Tower and power plant are online now. Ah, yes.
Ooh.
I see where we are now. I don't know if Harlan has land number 3, and I don't think he does. He's going to come in here with Snapcaster Mage. And he does not.
Pretty rough when you. It speaks to how little sideboard he had for the matchup here, and how many bad cards he has. It's not a good sign that Lightning Helix is still in his deck.
Not good at all, no. He's got to play this kind of weird tempo game where he just, if he's able to get you to 12 through regular damage, then he can burn you out. Helix Bolt, Snapcaster Helix, whatever. Cryptic Command to keep you off balance, but he's not able to do that right now. Urzatron online. What do we got now? Here's 3 mana. It's a Matter Reshaper.
One of my favorite things about this deck is the turn 3, I've got all this mana, and I cast a 3-drop.
Yeah, your turn. A 3-drop and then a Walking Ballista for 2. That's the best I could do now. There's the Mountain. That's land number 3, but also another mana source. Ah, Harlan going to come in here. There's a trade.
Easy block.
Well, it's more about he wants. Oh no. Karn has been revealed. It's about clearing the path for Geist of St. Traff, which Karn cannot kill.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying the play was bad. It's just, that's an easy block.
That's an easy block. Is it time for maybe the Dustbuster and all his dust? That'd make this game pretty easy here for Chris O'Brien. Is he going to go towards Karn? He's going to use the Dustbuster. I think this is a really smart play from Chris. Don't allow yourself to take any damage from Geist of St. Traff.
Yeah, don't make this a race. And if Harlan has to just leave up all of his mana the whole game because he has to keep up appearances that he can counter your Karn, I mean, that's a great spot.
There's a Seagate Wreckage. The nice thing here for Chris is he doesn't even have to lead out with Karn. He can lead out with Thought-Knots here and see if the path is clear. See which way the Eldrazi player wants to go. He will start off with Thought-Knots here. Here's the hand. Cryptic, Supreme Verdict, Electrolyze, Pian Kirin Nalar, and Lightning Helix. And you can see exactly how these cards line up and why this is such a tough matchup.
Yeah, when you're both the beatdown deck and you have to keep in Supreme Verdict or bring them in, it's really hard to get everything to line up the right way.
The old Geist of St. Traff Supreme Verdict deck, huh?
Right.
They're both blue-white, so they kind of go together. The Thought-Knots here is wearing a collar now. Magic Flavor 101. That might be wearing a second collar.
Yeah, it doesn't have a neck exactly.
Electrolyze is going upstairs. O'Brien's going to fall down to 16. Harlan will draw a card, picked up a Spell Queller.
That's nice.
Yeah, a little late. And a Disdainful Stroke.
Okay. That's a real draw.
That's a magic card that can do something right now. In with the Thought-Knot Seer. O'Brien's up to 20. Fear down a little lower. Disdainful Stroke is going to take care of Karn liberated. There's a waste past the turn back. Let's go back over to Harlan. Timely top deck for sure. Serum Visions will allow him to draw a card. Picked up a plane. Scry 2. Geist of St. Traff. Sulphur Falls. Not sure what to do with those.
I mean, you kind of want to keep the Sulphur Falls because it's double red for your PA Kirin Nalar, but it's also just such a slow way to do it. I guess if you just draw it this turn, it's fine. You can play it as your land.
You can play as planes past the turn back. In for 4 more. Bryant not going to play the Reality Smasher he drew just yet.
He's aware of Supreme Verdict, and he might be able to induce it just on the Thought-Knot Seer.
This is true. Sulphur Falls the draw. Here is the Verdict that you mentioned. So that's going to clear away the Thought-Knot Seer, allow Harlan to draw a card. There's a Sulphur Falls, pass the turn. Reality Smasher. Soon enough, I imagine.
Yeah, I think the last card in hand here is Dismember. It would be really nice for, if you're on O'Brien's side, for Fear to just play anything at all. So then you can empty out your hand and start moving to Seagate Wreckage.
Smasher's wearing a collar. Does that thing have a neck?
I think more of a neck? I don't know.
See, left totals here 29 to 6.
You can just see the issue here. It's just so hard for Fear to get all of his cards to line up the right way.
He also just doesn't really get to play the guy's same trap game that he wants to play.
Right. Too much blocking on the ground.
Here's Pia and Kieran Millar. A couple Thopters on the way for the Elders of Chandra. We're going back over to COB. Oh, Ulamog, that's fun. Well, when you got it, you got it. Here he comes. Gonna knock you down to 1. And there is Ulamog.
The whites. Take the whites.
I take the white ones?
The white ones. Hallowed Fountain and Celestial Colonnade. Yes.
There they go. There they go. Ask and you shall receive. Draw a card. Engineer explosives. Can we
perfect summary of all the issues. He's going to lose to a 5 and 10 mana card. And has just picked up Engineered Explosives.
Hi, not you.
Lightning Helix, Spell Queller. These are for the tinies. These are for the smalls, not so much the bigs.
Oh, we're going to play it out.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out.
We are not done.
All right, pass it back. We are going to play it out.
Good for Harlan.
I agree. Never give up, never surrender. Smasher, Ulamog, trigger. Going to resolve this trigger here. I respect this so much.
Yeah.
Get your time. Do you want to take a look at the 20 cards? Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Yeah, whatever.
You can look at them. I don't want to.
Give me the cliff note.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good block right there. Good block there. Okay.
Does he need to play the Spell Queller?
No,
here?
no, he's got a Helix.
Oh, I see.
You got to pay for that trigger, though. You got to discard a card. COB's got to make him remember the trigger. There we go. Discarding. We're going to hang on to that EE for a rainy day?
Well, if he draws a path.
I guess we can.
Nah, whatever.
Can we not keep playing?
Just stop.
Death Touch, Trample.
Oh, Basilisk Collar. Yeah,
he gains life.
He goes up to 4, and then it's 1 and 4.
Right, okay, fine. All right, saw it.
Sorry, Death Touch Trample rules.
Classic Death Touch Trample rules.
Yeah.
Chris O'Brien going to win this match over Harlan Fear pretty easy.